We have another warning we'll talk about in just a few moments that's just out of our viewing area but could make it into the Newton County area. But this is our main concern currently. If you live in Jessieville, siren should be going off here. Hopefully you're taking cover, finding your safe place and getting there with this particular storm. A tornado warning that has been issued here. The counties, once again, Garland, Perry, Saline counties till 3:30 this afternoon, including Cherry Hill and a few others. We'll put a storm track on this and find out who else is in the path of this particular cell as it moves off to the northeast. Right now at 40 miles per hour, and here it is. It is really wrapped up over the last couple of radar frames or sequences. So very confident that this may, in fact, produce a tornado as it moves to the northeast. Here's Jessieville, the rotation over Jessieville. Let's put a storm track on it, Nathan, and we'll find out who's going to be affected here in the next few moments. And we'll also get Storm Track 11 ready so we can center in on the exact location of the center of circulation, which is right in this area along Highway 7, just north of Jessieville. Here's Lake Winona. This cell is moving to the northeast at 40, and here are those locations that will be impacted by this particular possible tornado as it moves to the northeast. And we'll get those here in just a moment. But we have been keeping an eye on this, as well as another very potent storm that's over north central Arkansas that's prompted tornado warnings for Johnson County. And we'll get you there in just a moment. But for right now, here you go. We'll put that in storm track mode. Let's see, you got Ragsdale and Satuma, Arkansas, just after 3 o'clock. That's who's in the path of this, but it's going to get awfully close to Williams Junction, at least at Polygon. Again, Lake Winona, here's Ragsdale up the road here. And this is the western edge of Saline County. It will move into Perry County as well. Let me bring in meteorologist Nathan Scott, who is also watching the weather with us this afternoon. And Nathan, just a few moments ago, you were taking a close eye at this particular cell, and you said, that rotation's really beginning to tighten up there.
Tom, we've been watching this storm over the past 15 to 30 minutes, and the rotation was in the mid layers of the atmosphere, but now the rotation has dropped its way closer to the surface, and that's why the National Weather Service has decided to pull the trigger on this tornado warning. Let's go back and just rewind things here just a little bit over the past few minutes, because you can see how this evolved. And when we saw those colors start to come together, the blues and the reds, that shows you where the rotation's really happening, and it was happening just to the north of Hot Springs Village. That was before the tornado warning was issued, but then it continued to tighten up as it made its way through Jessieville. And if there could have been something that tried to drop its way from the clouds, that's certainly a possibility. But now that rotation has started to weaken and become a little more broad in spectrum as it's making its way through extreme northern parts of Garland County and about to enter into Saline County. So if you're watching us right along Highway 7, that is where this tornado, if there is something happening at this time, this is Doppler radar indicated. Nothing has been verified just yet, but we're going to zoom in here on some of the roads. This is what the radar is looking like right now. So we've got Lake Wyona Road, and also Blackmon Homestead Road. Those are going to be the areas. So it's a very rural area. The next road ahead of this storm cell will start to make its way towards Reform Road as we zoom into Saline County. There you see that road pop up, and also Forest Road 132. Now this is a very hilly area, but still we're watching Saline County and northern parts of Garland County. As this rotation, it's still there. I'm going to highlight exactly where we are watching the most dangerous part of this storm. It's making its way right along the border of Garland County and also into Saline County, Tom. So I'm going to put on the rotation arrows here to really point out on exactly where that is. And also we can go over to Storm Track 11. That even highlights it a little bit better. I'm going to go over here to our rotation tool, and you can clearly see as I rewind this just a little bit, where you're looking is the blue. So there's Jessieville, and let me rewind this just a few minutes ago where that darker blue is. That's where we were watching that potential. If there was something that dropped from the sky, it would have been at that time. So it starts to weaken. We start to lose some of that blue, Tom. That's some good news, but nonetheless, still have to take it seriously because the tornado warning remains in effect until 3 o'clock.
Yeah, they just posted a little more information about this. Its rotation went from the mid-levels toward the ground in a hurry. The storm will track through northwest Saline County into southern parts of Perry County here in the next few moments or so. So here in central Arkansas, we're now beginning to see these storms produce rotation, tornadoes. There's another tornado-warned storm that will get awfully close to the THV-11 viewing area. So let's leave this one for right now. Let's give you the information about the one that's up toward the Johnson County area. This was posted a little bit sooner, not long ago. It was just right on the edge of our THV-11 viewing area. We get asked all the time, well, where is your viewing area? Well, right here. Once you get into Polk County and Yell County, that's our viewing area. But if you have interests, if you have family that live in Johnson County, they're still under a tornado warning for a cell that showed some tight rotation here that moved out of Logan County that is now in Johnson County. There's the box. There's who's in the warning, including Clarksville and Ozone. Let's find out where the center of circulation, find out where we're finding the tightest rotation with this particular cell. They're going to let it go, and there you go. It's close to the Clarksville area right now. It doesn't look as well organized, but there's some strong winds nonetheless that are happening right now over Clarksville. That's in Johnson County, and that cell too is moving to the northeast. And if you can pick us up in Clarksville and Ozone, it's going to be awfully close to you. Then from there, it may clip a part of Polk County, moving into Newton County. So if you live up the road here in Newton County, just know that there is a tornado warned storm to your southeast or southwest, excuse me, and it will more than likely affect you here over the next hour or so. Back to central Arkansas, Saline County, parts of Perry County, tornado warned storm here. There was rotation near Jesseville, Arkansas, that in northern Garland County. As Nathan said a moment ago, it looks like it's not as tight as it was, but these cells will weaken a bit and then they'll re-strengthen, and it's possible that this may happen. So if you live in Perry County up toward Cherry Hill, if you know where Harris Brake is, then you want to go ahead and get your and since a lot of kids are home today from the holiday or for the holiday, go ahead and get your safe place ready to go. I think this is going to be one of those afternoons where we're going to have to dodge a lot of these warnings, and things are beginning to heat up, especially to the west. And oh, by the way, there is a tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock for a good part of central, southern, and western Arkansas. We anticipate another watch that will be issued for northwest Arkansas. But our first couple of tornado warnings are currently here, west central and central Arkansas. Again, for Garland County, Saline into Perry counties, that's the box until 3:30. No update on this particular cell just yet, but if you live in Newton County in north central Arkansas or even Pope County, go ahead and make your precautions. Take your steps to get your safe place ready to go. Get your NOAA weather radio ready. Got the THV-11 app, and we'll keep you up to date. Nathan Scott, Tom Brannon here with you all afternoon long. We expect, Nathan, that this is going to be a very active weather day.
Yeah, this is the start, Tom, because this is round one. We've got showers and storms blossoming across the region. It's warm, it's humid, the ingredients are in place, and now the low-level jet is kicking in here from the southwest. So that allows the storms to begin to rotate. Hence, that's why tornado warnings are starting to be issued. And that does include folks down to the south in Louisiana. We've got a long ways to go because this is the first round, but we could see another round of strong to severe thunderstorms arrive later this evening and through the overnight hours. So people need to stay weather aware probably until at least midnight. It could be even later than that going into East Arkansas, where the storm threat will continue until the early morning hours. So yes, we have the first tornado watch issued until 9 o'clock, but I would not be surprised if we see a new tornado watch that goes beyond midnight for some parts of the state. So yes, you need to stay weather aware and have that THV-11 app close by. Make sure those notifications are turned on, because we're in a situation where you're not going to see a severe thunderstorm necessarily. It'll just go right to a tornado warning, and these could be very quick spin-ups that happen with little to no warning or very short warning.
Yeah, and those are the two areas that we've got currently. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, severe thunderstorm that could produce a tornado here in central Arkansas, and the one we're watching in west central Arkansas. And this is kind of round one. Round one is moving through. It'll be out of here by late evening, and then we'll watch for round two to come in. If there's a little bit of hope, we are hoping that the atmosphere gets worked over with these thunderstorms that can kind of wring things out a bit. And then we'll turn our attention to the main action later on tonight with the second round that's going to be coming in. Here are the warnings for northern parts of Garland County, but really I think that cell is now in western parts of Saline. We'll move into Perry County. If you live up the road in Conway County, also in Faulkner County, just be weather aware here over the next 45 minutes or so. These cells are moving to the northeast at 40, and here is that polygon for northern Logan County into Johnson County. If you live in Newton County, or if you live in western Pope County, you need to be aware of what's around you here. And one of the things with schools going back, most of them going back tomorrow, a lot of the kids are at home. This is a situation where if you have things going on this afternoon, you might want to hold off, as we do expect things to tick upwards in activity through the afternoon hours. Here you go. This is the area that we've been talking about, the supercell thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. This is our reflectivity mode. Some very heavy rain, flash flooding can't be ruled out, and the possibility of some stronger winds. And right about in here is where we're finding the rotation. It's very hard to put together there, Nathan. Looks like it might be broadening out a little bit more.
Tom, it is really weakened compared to what we were seeing about 10 minutes ago. I mean, you can clearly see the colors very close together as it made its way through Jessieville. Now those blues and reds are not as close. We're not seeing that tight couplet that what we saw when the tornado warning was first issued. So this definitely shows signs of weakening, and that's some good news as it makes its way through western parts of Saline County. Yes, you're still under tornado warning into western parts of Saline County and also into southeastern areas of Perry County. Still want to be on your guard, and if you want to, take those tornado precautions, but I am seeing signs that this is starting to weaken. However, with that said, anytime we're dealing with a tornado warning, things can cycle up very quickly, cycle back down, and then cycle up once again. And we just have a lot of wind energy in place for this potential of starting to see rotation with these storms. So that's what we're on the lookout for. But looking at Storm Track 11, we really start to lose those blues, and that means that the rotation within this cell is continuing to weaken. However, the tornado warning remains in effect until 3:30 and will be on air until they decide, meaning the National Weather Service decides to cancel that tornado warning early, which is a possibility, will continue to stay on the air. Now, if you're watching us in Little Rock and wondering, hey, is this headed in our direction? No, this is going to continue to lift its way towards Perryville. If it holds together, it will make its way closer to Conway, but right now, I think at this time, the tornado threat continues to diminish. It is one cell by itself, but there are some other cells developing down to the south. But any of these cells off to the west, into Montgomery County, into Pike County, we just have to watch out for those cells, but especially those cells that are all by themselves, because they can feed off the atmosphere, and it's just a buffet with a warm and humid air, and you got that wind energy in place that we start to see once again these supercell thunderstorms. Those are storms that are all by themselves. They rotate, and they are the ones that are most likely to produce tornadoes. And Tom, we're talking about not only potential of those weak, brief tornadoes, but there could also be strong tornadoes today with the ingredients in place.
Yeah, a little bit of a message here from the National Weather Service, getting some reports from near Jessieville of some roof damage, so we will keep you up to date on that. We've got our news team on standby to make sure that we know what's happening there with that in Jessieville. Also, the storm that's in Johnson County, that has been allowed to expire. The National Weather Service has expired Johnson and Logan counties, but again, these storms will cycle up, they'll cycle down. Our main focus now here in central Arkansas with this potential supercell thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. It doesn't look nearly as impressive, but again, they cycle down and they cycle back up. 3:30 is how long this is in effect for. It's moving through parts of western Saline County, now beginning to cross into Perry County. Here's Ragsdale, Arkansas. There is Satuma, Arkansas. And if you know those locations, or if you happen to live nearby those locations, then you're close enough to the storm to go ahead and take your necessary tornado precautions. Find the centermost part of your home, preferably a small closet. Stay away from windows and outside walls. Put something over your head. We talk a lot about taking a bike helmet or something that you can wear to keep, just in case you do get hit. The flying debris factor here is what you're most concerned about. Centermost part of your home. home, if you got a basement, make sure you have something to put over you. Stay away from windows, very important. There's Nathan giving us a little bit of a scan here as to where this particular storm could produce a tornado or could be producing a tornado. Again, reports from Jessieville, there are a few homes that may have been damaged by this particular possible tornado. Could be some strong winds. Not going to go out there and say, yeah, it definitely was that just yet. If you live around County Road 39, the center of circulation is now beginning to cross over 39. It's going to get awfully close up the road there to Ragsdale. Here's Thornburg, Arkansas. If you know folks that live between Ragsdale and Thornburg, you might want to notify them. Let them know that there's potential for a tornado heading up the road. And there's the outer edge of the polygon. You get up toward Cherry Hill near Highway 60. Still have a ways to go. Storm is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Let's go back to our en route from Storm Track 11, Nathan. Let's see if or how impressive the rotation may be with this particular cell. Here's velocity. Again, this is the winds blowing to and from radar. Give us a couplet, and that's the area that is of concern. But if we go to en route, maybe we can see if there's any more impressive. Yep, still a little area of blue here. Here's Perry, got Applin, Arkansas, excuse me, and here's Perryville. So this storm, if it holds its path, could get awfully close to either Perryville and central Perry County. And there's our tornado watch or tornado warning, the polygon with that in effect until 3:30. Okay, well, this is good news. 3 o'clock, National Weather Service just canceled the tornado warning for Garland, Perry, and Saline County.
And it makes sense because the rotation continues to weaken. It doesn't look as significant as what it did when it was in Jessieville. But Tom, still, we'll have to be on our guard through the afternoon into the evening. Once again, we got the tornado watch until at least 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Going back over to the graphics, and I'm going to pull up the current tornado watch issued for a large part of Arkansas. That includes Little Rock Metro, Arkadelphia, Camden, El Dorado, and don't be caught off guard, even East Arkansas, because I think there will be a new tornado watch issued later this evening for the potential of more storms that may become strong, possibly severe. So definitely stay weather aware.
Yeah, one of those things that we do want to, we'll go back to programming in just a moment. We're not going to waste your time. We're going to get off with the warnings when we can, but just be aware this afternoon, like Nathan said, and we're going to keep a close eye on things. We'll be here. This is round one. We could have another round a little bit later on, and a new warning could pop up anytime. So we'll take you from here. From meteorologist Nathan Scott, I'm Tom Brannon. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled programming.